On Network Africa today, more bodies retrieved from destroyed houses and muddy pools following a massive mudslide in Sierra Leone's Freetown. Zimbabwe's First Lady Grace Mugabe fails to appear in court to answer assault charges on a model in South Africa. Plus, strike action called by the Academic Staff Union of Universities in Nigeria takes effect. Hello and welcome to Network Africa. I'm Joke Rogers. We begin in Sierra Leone as the search continues for survivors of a devastating mudslide that swept through the capital Freetown Sunday night to Monday morning. Rescuers have been working overtime to retrieve more bodies from destroyed houses and muddy pools, but even that is being hampered by lack of equipment. An emotional President Ernest Bai Koroma reportedly fought back tears as he answered questions from reporters, saying the situation was overwhelming. He says Sierra Leone needs urgent support right now.
A day of devastation for residents in Regent Village, Freetown, as the earth high on the hills washed down everything in its path. Buildings were submerged in the mudslides, claiming lives, many of whom were asleep, oblivious of what was going on.
Causing this kind of slide that we are experiencing now, it's unfortunate. A lot of lives have been lost here. We have called on the police to cordon off the area so that we can call in rescue workers. The military is here, ONS. We are all partnering. We have just established a command center right at very close to the epicenter here, and we are coordinating efforts to make sure we get people out. We have taken a lot of dead bodies. We have not so far taken out anybody alive.
Those lucky to be alive are seen moving boxes out of their destroyed homes. The Red Cross says over 200 bodies have been taken to the central morgue in Freetown, while rescue teams intensify their search for more survivors believed to be trapped in the debris. In a televised address, President Ernest Koroma assured residents of government's collaboration with development partners to avoid a future occurrence.
Let me assure you that my government is fully engaged on this situation, and in collaboration with our development partners, we have already established an emergency response center at Regent to coordinate our response and to provide relief to the survivors.
Authorities attribute the incident to heavy downpour that happened Sunday night into Monday morning. Many as 3,000 people are said to have been displaced from their homes. As rescue efforts progress, workers say people should prepare for the worst, as the death toll is likely to rise.
Over in Burkina Faso, citizens are observing a 3-day mourning period for victims of the attack on a restaurant on Sunday. 18 people were killed in the evening when gunmen opened fire at those sitting outside. No one has claimed responsibility for the attack, which has been condemned by the president, who also referred to the attackers as cowards and terrorists. Witnesses said the men spoke a foreign language, possibly Arabic. Fingers, however, point to Al-Qaeda in the Islamic Maghreb, which was responsible for an attack in Ouagadougou in January last year. In the meantime, the United Nations Secretary General Antonio Guterres has condemned the terrorist attack carried out by a gunman in Ouagadougou, Burkina Faso, which left 18 people dead. In a statement read by his spokesman, the Secretary General extended his condolences to the government and people of Burkina Faso. Mr. Guterres also reaffirmed the UN's commitment to countries of the G5 Sahel in tackling security challenges. Zimbabwe's First Lady, Grace Mugabe, failed to appear in court today to answer questions in the case of alleged assault on a 20-year-old model in Johannesburg over the weekend. Mrs. Mugabe was said to have attacked the model with an extension cord after finding the model with her 2 sons in a hotel room in Sandton, a highbrow area north of Johannesburg. Pictures circulating online show the model with a gash on her forehead and a number of bruises on her body purportedly inflicted by Mrs. Mugabe. Police in South Africa say they had to act in the interest of the victim who opened the case against the Zimbabwean First Lady. Police Minister Fikile Mbalula says Mrs. Mugabe would have to answer the allegations. Zimbabwe's ruling ZANU-PF party, however, says Mrs. Mugabe instead is the victim in the alleged assault.
The law is about ensuring that everybody is protected. And in terms of foreign citizens, they must understand their responsibility, especially those who hold a diplomatic passport. That I cannot just go here and go to Zimbabwe and beat up people there, and then the matter will disappear. Of course, TERCO must respond to that. But from police side, we have had to act in the interest of the victims who have opened the case and who have responded.
For the charges that she's currently facing now, it's assault GBH. It's a district matter case. She can get bail at the station without coming to court. But however, should she get bail today, which means she needs to come to court tomorrow or within 48 hours.